Good morning. I'm Brett Waters, one of the planning operations on the August Complex in the Northwest Zone. And today I'm just going to do an operational briefing for October 14th. Give you a little overview of kind of where we're at today and what has transpired a little bit as of yesterday. So overall activity yesterday was fairly quiet. We were able to take a look at some different areas throughout our fire side on our zone and reassess what are going to be the needs. We know that we have some weather and winds that are coming in. It's starting to dry out from the moisture we had a couple of days ago. We have some winds, so that's going to test some of our containment lines, and also you'll probably end up seeing more smoke, a little bit more fire activity than we have in the last couple of days because things are drying out. But the real great thing is that we are at 94% containment. Things are going very well for us all the way through. So I'll just start out here in the the north part of our map. So we break things into geographical areas so that it's easier to manage. So we break these divs are divisions, and then we come up with alphanumeric numbers with those. So up in the very north part, up in this area in our division Gulf that we talk about, this is where the northeast zone is been working, and there's a potential for some of the winds to move this up towards the north, up into some more private areas, and on Road 12 and on Road 24. So we're putting some contingency lines in there in case that happens. But this very north part of our fire to the river is holding really well. So we're in good shape there. We're just reinforcing that to make sure everything stays good in check. As we move south into divisions Foxtrot and Elko and Delta, as we move down through here. Again, we're on all of our fire line. We've got resources that are snagging for trees that could potentially come down in any type of wind or just are unsafe because they're burned out. We're checking for any hot spots along structures and mopping up, which is just going in and making sure we're taking care of those smokes, from the perimeter. And why we do that when we say mopping up, if the wind comes, if we get an east wind, it can push a firebrand outside of our containment area. So we're pushing and mopping up more of that into the fire area to contain that, to protect it. Down here, as we come down along Ruth Lake, and a lot of the other structures, we've got folks that are in there day and night making sure and patrolling that if they see anything that comes up, a tree that all of a sudden comes to life again because it's drying out and gets some wind, that we can go ahead and attack that. As we're continuing down here, if you look at our right here also, let me go back to drop point 13. This is up at the summit, and we were able to work with the Trinity County Sheriff to move that roadblock up to the summit. A little bit better place. It helps the sheriff as far as how many road closure areas that they have. So we're working very closely with Cal OES, with Cal DOT, with the counties and with the Sheriff's Department at looking at where closures are in place, where roadblocks are in place, where people can repopulate. We're doing everything we can to make sure that can be a safe operation so that folks can get back into their houses, get back into some type of normality and normal activity, but in a safe manner. This fire was, when it blew through, so many of the trees are burned out, and with any type of wind, they can just fall over. So we want to make sure that it's safe in there before some of those roads are open, as well as folks get back into the houses. So we're trying to, what we call snagging, or taking those hazard trees down so that we can protect folks. So we were able to move this roadblock here. We're in discussions coming right through the middle of the fire area. I think this is the 511 road. And but there are a ton of areas that have a lot of snags throughout this interior road that are really going to be hazardous. So we're working at coming up with a plan as to how to do that. As we go into our division Charlie, as you see this little red part of the line, that's uncontrolled fire line. We've been working in here to try to go as direct as possible on this line and then take the heat out of that to assure that it cannot come out. But this area, we will have a lot of resources in this area again today just to make sure this holds, it doesn't get tested. Last night we had folks that were patrolling, all the way into the 502 road, all along this perimeter. Everything looked really good. So this area right here is some uncontrolled fire land. We have a lot of resources working here today to try to get more of this land controlled and contained, and making sure that if any fires do start to come alive with this drying condition, that we can go ahead and hold this. As we continue to move, south down our perimeter to Xenia and to Kenton Palm, things have been looking real good through here. We've been working very closely with our CAL FIRE folks in this area, and this is real along a lot of these structures is in very good shape. As we move south into this area here, which we call Division Alpha, here's some uncontrolled fire line in here where there's quite a little bit of dozer line right along this whole southern boundary. We have been reinforcing that and trying to take that dozer line a little bit deeper into the main fire perimeter area so that it will hold if we get tested with some wind as this is drying out. So these two areas right here are the areas today that we're putting a tremendous amount of effort to make sure that we contain and hold everything that there is. Continuing along, we're having discussions with the local sheriffs, the forest, Cal OES, PG&E, at anything that we can do mitigating some of those hazards along some of those roads, so we can get road closures reduced as much as possible, so we can get you folks that aren't in your homes repopulated into your homes and get back to some sort of normalcy after this significant event. Today we have what's called red flag conditions. Based on the drying of the fuels, based on the potential of the wind, the conditions are high for fire growth. So we have a tremendous amount of resources here to help watch that. We've had some good time. There's been a ton of great work done on this entire fire by all of the different incident management teams that have been here. So we're continuing to reinforce everything that's been done, all the good work that's been done, and we're prepared for hopefully what Mother Nature doesn't test us too bad for today's operational period. And with that, I hope that gives you a good overview of what our operational plan is for today, for October 14th. Have a good, safe day.